This is Love Notes, daily devotions from Holy Trinity Lutheran Church. Grace and peace to you. Well, the accuser, the Satan, has been allowed to kind of have at Job once again. This time not with his prosperity, but with his own body, his own health. And so we're told, beginning in verse 7, that the accuser inflicted loathsome sores on Job from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Job took a potsherd, remnant of pottery, with which to scrape himself, and he sat among the ashes. He scraped away the sores and sat among the ashes in grief. His wife says to him, "Do you still persist in your integrity? Curse God and die. Let it go, Job. The game's over. This silly faith that you have, well, obviously it doesn't mean anything." But Job says to her, "You speak as any foolish woman would speak." Now, let me stop there. Some people will read that and say, well, see, there's another example of the Bible calling women foolish. And maybe that's what it is. But I think another way to see this is it's this particular woman and this particular foolishness that's being addressed. You speak as any foolish woman would speak, just as any foolish man would speak. Job continues, "Shall we receive good from God and not receive evil?" See, Job knows that the world has got good and evil in it, and that as an inhabitant of the world, as a creature who occupies creation, that good and evil are going to be splashed on us, perhaps in equal portions. It's a good day when the good outweighs the evil. It's a bad day when the evil outweighs the good. But are we going to curse God because of the way the world really is? Here again, Job shows that he is blameless, that he fears the Lord, that he rejects evil. And it tells us in all this, Job did not sin with his lips. He did not utter a word against God. We start to get a look here of how we can respond to the adversity in our life. I have met as a pastor countless people who just tell me that, I don't believe in God anymore because this bad thing happened to me, or this loved one died, or I had this disease and God let it happen, and so there can't be any God. That's one response. And in that case, according to the book of Job at least, the accuser is at least partially right. When the blessings are withdrawn, when the prosperity goes away, when the assault on our body comes, then we don't really have any need for God because we've seen God as some kind of divine vending machine, proffering out good things to people when they put in enough righteous quarters. Another response to the adversity in life is just to give in to it, to not really have an opinion one way or the other on God, just to be overwhelmed by the adversity and let it shape us. But Job offers a different way of looking at it. Here we begin to see that adversity is not necessarily the enemy of faith. If you've lost something, someone, if you have suffered yourself in your own body, then the adversity that comes does not necessarily mean that you have to blame God and reject God. As a matter of fact, Job's faith calls it to deepen and grow. Should I just accept the good things? And when things are good, then I love God. And when the bad things come, then to reject God? I mean, think about the basic human relationships that we have. Husbands and wives, parents and children. Friendships. If we bail out of those every time things get tough, well, there's not much of a relationship, is there? The question here is, what is the nature of our relationship with God? And how does adversity affect that? Can we say with Job, shall we receive good from God and not receive any evil? Amen.